What is up, guys? Alex from Figures.
Hi everyone, this is Chuckles.
What do we have here this time? I mean, this is what, the third time now we've been doing one of these videos?
That's right.
First one was Artorias. The next one was King of Red Lions.
Exactly.
And who have we got here?
Anime.
Anime. Our first
ever anime statue.
And that is...
One Punch Man.
Saitama.
Yeah.
Boom! So happy to be able to finally show you this, guys. It has been a long time in coming. Now, before we sort of get into the details and all that good stuff, I just wanted to let you know there is, having looked at the forums and all that sort of good stuff, Eric Utamolen has said he wants us to say One Punch obviously in the famous One Punch style, but he didn't say when. We can contemplate doing it at the beginning, or it could be, I reckon, randomly. So randomly, you just need to say it once, and I need to say it once. Just randomly, anytime, but just try not to knock over that. Try not and see
out of nowhere, right?
Out of nowhere. You know, you might want to even do yours now.
We're not
I might
even in
want to do mine
sync.
later.
We're not going to be in sync.
You know what? Why don't we do it in sync at the very end, but randomly in between? It could be any time. Keep the viewers on edge, so they don't know when it's going to be. None of us know when it's going to be, except for the one at the end, which we'll do in sync. How about that?
All right then. It's risky on my side because I'm like.
Well, right now you could be knocking into the. We'll try not to do that, because as you know, this is a prototype that's been done by the factory, but it's still a prototype, so we don't want to be destroying this just yet.
It's very valuable right now because it's.
And actually, I'm going to be
one piece. Well, it's the only piece we got.
Right, and to be clear, I'm concerned for you because if you actually punch him by accident, you're going to break your hand. Yeah. You're not going to knock him off.
Exactly,
he's going to break your hand, but just because he's obviously rock hard. And another question it was a Callan, what is it? And Moore says, if he falls, does he break or does the ground break? Well, it's clearly the ground breaks.
Well, you can see it right there. Look.
Well, there you go.
Well, he didn't fall down. He's actually
absolutely just sort of stepped on it.
Yeah,
no, exactly right. So, anyways, what is up, guys? Back to business.
Let's do
what is it? Is this a live stream or is this actually a pre-recorded video?
It feels like a live stream, but it's actually pre-recorded.
Yo. Well, if you're joining us for the first time, I'm Alex Davis. This is my co-host Chuckles. We are First to Figures, and we do statues, and we make statues, and we make product, sort of merchandise, figurines, all that sort of good stuff. And thanks very much for joining us. So, Saitama, here we are. Since November is when I first said, right.
2015.
Yeah, right, exactly. November 2015, One Punch Man came on my radar. First of all, I was like, who's this bald guy that I keep seeing everywhere, right? Then I sort of kept seeing him, and as being a pop culture aficionado, I thought I'd better find out who this guy is and what it's all about. And then obviously, Saitama and One Punch Man and all that sort of stuff. And I kept looking at it, and sort of over time, it was looking at the popularity and it started getting to that point where it was really really popular. And I was like, well, so what is this? So sat down, started watching it. The series had already finished at this stage.
Right.
I sort of initially saw him at the beginning. Then it became. Then obviously the series was going. It was in Japan, and then when it completed, and then it was dubbed into English, all that sort of stuff. I was fortunately. It was timed just perfectly that I got to watch all of it all at once. So I managed to do it all in a weekend. The whole series, bada bing, bada boom, all done. Because there's nothing worse than having to wait one by one every week. So what a anime! Now that was amazing. I really enjoyed it, and quite soon after that, I was like, right, we need to really seriously look into this because, just in a general point of view, anime has been on our radar for a while now. Obviously, First to Figures has really cut its teeth on gaming related franchises.
How many years now? You've been dabbling in just gaming alone? 10, 15 years?
Well, it's certainly, I would say we started in 2003, but really concentrated on sort of the Nintendos and the
Yeah.
Segas 2005 onwards, and really sort of progressed on there.
I
And got
mean-
all the other sort of licenses
I mean,
from that.
we've been dropping hints in the club, and that we've been been taking some interest in anime, but this is the actual where you actually did your homework.
Absolutely. So,
Yeah.
so anime, as I said, it's been on my radar, and One Punch Man was clearly up there, and one of the ones that I was really eager to get hold of, especially after watching it over that weekend. Just non-stop, kept going, watching it. I was like, this is amazing. So, the funny thing is, when I watched that, there was the scene, of course, how he actually becomes incredibly strong. So what is it again? It's 100 push-ups.
Right. 100 sit-ups. And then
100 squats. And a
10K.
Right.
Every day.
Every day.
That's right,
every day. Now, the funny thing is, I tried it.
Right.
And I tried it for like 3 days.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was so knackered, right? Which is British for really tired. And what I had done, I had paused the anime at that stage, and sort of at that stage, and I did my my training on that day or whatever.
Routine,
yeah, right.
Yeah.
But what I forgot to mention is, of course, that what I didn't pay attention to after I sort of just watched that initial bit was there's a little scene right afterwards which I totally forgot when I was just remembering 100 squats, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and a 10K run. I totally forgot in those instructions. I thought that was it, right? Just do that. I'll be Saitama. I mean, I'm already bold, so I figured I had a good chance. But what I forgot about after having seen it was there's a little bit, maybe a minute afterwards, where he says, "Do not use air conditioning during the summer." And that was my big mistake. So it had no effect on me, apart from the bald head. So I'm going to try it again.
The coming summer, right?
Yeah, because exactly
Yeah.
right. And not to use the aircon, to see if I can do it, and then no, that's where we're at. But yeah, I mean, the anime for you really enjoyed it as well.
It was fairly new for me as well. Again, I only watched the anime. It was only like later on that I realized it started off from like a web series. Like I don't know, I can't remember either through the manga themselves or through some kind of online thing in Japan.
So you knew about it before the anime actually came out?
Well, I did a bit of research after watching the anime.
Oh, so yeah, okay, yeah, so you mean, did you see the original 2009 webcomic?
I didn't actually.
Yeah, but I mean, afterwards I saw it, and you can sort of see how the story progresses after doing the research, of course.
Exactly.
Yeah, 2009
then you can understand. Oh, right, it's majority is kind of like a parody. It doesn't take itself serious, and like
that's what I love about it.
Yeah, it's just, it's just a normal guy trying to have fun. As a hero.
Sounds a bit like us. Don't take ourselves too seriously, and
we are heroes in.
Absolutely. So look, here we are. Man, the cat is out the bag. Saitama, boom, number one. We've been looking at this for a long time now, in terms of the completed product and finally being able to start really rolling out the anime side of the business. Because obviously we've been, as I said, we've been doing the gamings for such a long time.
That's right. We've been dropping hints here and there on some of the other anime projects, but this one we've been, quiet from day one.
Exactly right.
Much,
exactly right.
Just glad to get this out, and not as in like to get rid of it, but as in to actually show it, because like these last couple of weeks, I mean, obviously we've been busy with other releases, but this one, we had to go through, day and night, making sure everything's perfect.
And it's very it's a project. I mean, of course all of the projects are, but of course this one in particular is very dear to our heart.
Because it's the very first one to be shown.
And hopefully that's going to help sort of for us to be exposed to the anime fans, which would be fantastic. We would, that would be fantastic for us. Okay, so so here we are. Here he is, and let's get to it. Let's go for some questions then.
Shall we just start off spinning him around whilst we go through the questions?
Go for it. Yeah, of course.
Cool. As usual.
Yep.
Do I have to wait 10 seconds?
That's cool. We'll let him spin that way because he's in the pose, right?
Yeah.
He's pulling back.
Yeah.
and you can see the rotation.
That's right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start the video where, well, this part of it, he's super mega winding back.
One punch!
Is that your one?
That's my one. Oh! Yeah. Sorry, I went first.
Well, there you go. It could have been any time. Yeah. Very, very sneakily got in there. Although the tone of the one punch could have been a bit louder and a little bit higher, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't want to break anything, because it was like I waited until the clock was going that way.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a very good call. So yes, right now he's rotating and he's pulling back, and you can see that in the sculpt with the way that the clothing. That was really important actually for the clothing to be pulled back, to really get that rotation in the waist. So he's like really cocking back for that punch, that one punch. Said in a normal tone, right. No cheating and by using it, I'm not going to do that now. So, right, let's get to it.
Okay, sure. Okay, question time. Yeah?
Yeah.
Questions first? Okay, so first question from Lawrence Guzman.
Guzman. He actually said that in the forums.
Oh, we did, right?
Yeah, but we should maybe talk a bit about, for all the people who've seen this video for the first time.
Okay.
Where are these Q&As coming from, and a bit about that?
Okay, sure. So basically, every time we make a post on the main page and in our Collectors Club, we usually release a Preview Friday picture, and then, well, the pattern right now is like, hopefully we'll release a Preview Friday picture, and then we'll create a couple of posts in the club asking you guys, the club members, to just give us questions. Like, I mean, obviously it's One Punch Man, so you have questions like why do we choose One Punch Man, or that kind of questions. And
but it's in the Facebook forums,
it's on the Facebook page and
Facebook Collectors Club within the Facebook. That's so right. Just head to our Facebook page. You'll be able to search for the group. I mean, it's very easy to find. If you can't find the link, it should be pretty easy to find. And
it's not just questions alone, we also have shout outs as well. So we Alex will leave a comment, and then the first 10 people that replies back to him will get a shout out in every single video. Yeah. So we do that. We do this on a regular basis with every single video we do.
Do join the club if you're not a member.
Please do, yeah.
And if you are, what's up?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Guzman.
Okay, yes. So his question was, what made you decide to go with Saitama over other popular?
Well, I kind of sort of briefly talked about that a little bit earlier, but sure, I've seen certainly more in recent years. Well, obviously in the last sort of year and a bit, I've done more research into the animes, and certainly catching up from when I was a kid. Yeah. Obviously, I started with the the Akiras and that sort of stuff, and yes, a bit of some Studio Ghibli, all that sort of thing. But sort of more catching up on what's hot, what's current, all that sort of stuff. And when we went into this whole anime arena, it was more about actually not just one, but actually quite a few of them, and it was almost like a staple few that would be enough to properly show that we want to actually really get into the anime side of things. So it's not just simply One Punch Man.
It's not just a one-off thing. Right. We want to actually broaden our portfolio, making sure that
right.
Hey
so,
guys, we want to cater to the anime guys, because we all know like some of the gamers, they themselves watch anime.
Right.
I'm a gamer as well, but I really love anime as well. So we could do two things at the same time.
Right.
That's why.
Right. Yeah. So in terms of One Punch Man, it's not just One Punch Man. There's actually a few others that we've been at various stages.
Yeah, but it's really hard to let it all out.
Yeah, right sure. Yeah. But we were really stoked to be able to sort of launch this sort of new era, this new phase for First of Figures with Saitama, with One Punch Man, because what could be more appropriate than doing that? I mean, I thought that, so really happy about that. So so in terms of over other popular animes, well, we haven't ignored other popular animes. The answer is
this is just the first of many.
Exactly. Yeah. So I hope that answers your question, Mr. Guzman.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, cool. So next question from Judo Mali. Do you learn anything while making this piece that will help for future statues to come, or even statues still in production you might be having difficulty with?
Yeah, sure. So one of the things is taking this kind of rather simplistic look of anime, and kind of trying to translate the realism of the stuff that we're normally used to doing sort of like the gaming sort of stuff. Sometimes it's more like, particularly at the textures.
It's not just that, I mean, starting from the basics, transferring 2D to 3D.
Of course.
That is very difficult.
Well, and that's it, you know. So that was particularly challenging, and it still remains to be challenging, and that is translating anime style into the 3D. Now, I find it personally much easier to deal with the video game stuff because it originally is in the 3D. And the references that you see are in the 3D. It's much, much, much easier. Now, the challenging thing about making anime statues or anime figures is that every scene is different. He can be drawn this way, he can be drawn that way. Which way do you go?
Yeah.
Which ones do you follow? Those sort of questions and those sort of challenges are far more present in making anime stuff than it is for the other stuff, you know, the video game stuff, for me. And in time it will get better, because as I said, this is like, we're learning with it, but it was indeed very challenging for that. And also translating that simple style and blending it with the realism that we do. So we went for the realistic base with a sort of more stylized figure on the top, but still having those sort of subtle details to emphasize the movement. And that is, as I said, for the clothing in particular, the way it stretches, the way that the lines go up here, and it comes in, if we bring him around to the front, you can see it particularly on the front of his chest.
Yeah.
The way that the lines, you can see it sort of coming up this way. You can see it's coming up this way. And it's emphasizing a rotation, as we talked about, just like the way that the turntable was telling. He's rotating back and he's cocking his fist, ready for his one punch. I'm not using my word there yet. That was indeed pretty challenging in terms of getting that right, getting that blend correct for our sort of styling.
Because a lot of the anime style or like movement is trying to capture that in a statue form, as in, how do I put it? So basically it's like a lot of gaming statues, you can have them like in museum poses or you know, like just sitting down pose or something like that. Yeah, but with anime it's kind of like a lot of times mainly action, especially in this particular movie. This
exaggerated one, and he's absolutely. So, you know, in terms of the difficulty in making that, it was trying to keep it consistent and trying to incorporate the over-the-top action that you see in the anime, and incorporating that into the statue. And I see there's a question later on talking a bit more about the pose, so we'll go a bit more into that a little bit later on.
Okay.
But as I said, the hardest thing was translating the 2D anime or the manga, any of that sort of stuff, into the 3D, where the images are so inconsistent. That was the toughest part, because they were so inconsistent. It was challenging, no doubt. That was the hardest thing. In terms of, does that help for statues even in production? If you mean development, then absolutely, that was a big challenge and a big benefit to go through the process in order to get that down. So that's where we're at.
Cool, great, thank you. So, next question from Jessica Pan. Somewhere down the line, Genos has to accompany his master. Will that eventually be a possibility? So many light up opportunities. Yep, there you go.
It would be a shame to not have Genos, his disciple.
Yeah.
And absolutely, the answer is yes, there will be a Genos.
There you go.
And
second statue in line, right?
If you want to give the whole game away. But Genos has absolutely been designed to absolutely fit opposite Saitama. So I wanted Genos to look awesome on his own. I want Saitama to look awesome on his own. But when you put them next to each other, their eyes will be facing each other, and it will look even more sick. That is the plan, but we'll save that for another video.
There's a scene in the anime that where they lock eye to eye.
And that whole scene where they're fighting and he's like, right, come test yourself, and then
that was one of the best scenes.
It's awesome, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
With the death, the one punch comes out, and then he's like, all right, let's go for some ramen, let's go for some udon. Oh, you don't like udon? Just fantastic, and that was a saying, don't take themselves too seriously, and so that's awesome. Should we have? If we bring him around here, should we have Saitama
going the other way?
Going the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's bring it back this way.
Flip.
Yeah, flip. See if that works.
Flip.
Oh no.
Sorry, guys.
And again.
Yes.
Yeah. Now he's.
About to punch my face.
It does look like that. Yeah, why do you think I timed it for that stage? It's looking about right here. In fact, he's looking. He's
kind of like staring down.
Actually, he's actually looking at me now. At this angle is where he's looking at, and we got it with the movement of his eyes looking to the left. But we'll talk more when we get to that stage.
Because that's part of the pose thing as well.
Part of the pose thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Jessica. So next person down the line, Dan Bond. Was choosing your first anime statue a hard decision?
No. Going back to what we said in terms of the licenses, then obviously once you start with the licenses, it makes sense to go with the main character, especially when it's our first foray into the anime world. That was pretty straightforward, made a lot of sense to do that. So that was a pretty straightforward decision for us.
It was good. It was a good decision because I really like this anime.
Yeah, and the great thing was, to have that, because you joined after we'd already gone quite far down this line, and you were like, oh man, that's cool that we're starting with this one.
Yeah, because I was just like everyone else, we're just a gaming statue company. But when the first time I heard you guys are doing anime, I was like, wow.
And then when you heard
this
is
going to be really interesting. And then when I heard it was like One Punch Man, I was like, whoa. Yeah. Count me in.
Absolutely.
Sweet. All right. Any?
No, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Okay. Thank you. So next one, Richard Yafai.
I reckon.
Yeah. Yafai. Let's go with Yafai. Yeah.
Yafai.
Okay. So how many poses for the statue did you have to go through before deciding on this final pose?
A lot.
It's back to where that all different angles, different positions, and
loads and loads and loads. As again, this was Saitama was pretty challenging in terms of that. We went through a lot of iterations on the poses. I'm not talking about the details on the face and all the clothing. That was a whole bunch of different details. But the actual choices for the pose, I think we may have started over a few times. Started with one style, went to another style, weren't happy with it, went back to this, tweaked that. First of all, his hands were... Originally, we were considering he was looking up, and he was going to be punching upwards, because if he was going to be facing like a Sea King or something like that, yeah?
Or like a meteoroid.
Exactly right, so he's like punching upwards. We were originally thinking of that, but then when I thought about the Genos thing, and we wanted to have him locking eyes, he was more looking down. But that, the way he was looking and the tilt of the body in the waist depends on which way he's going to punch.
Yeah.
So if you were going to be doing the CK and he's looking upwards, the body's more tilting backwards. This is more, he's sort of tilting more. Obviously he's rotating, but he's more tilting down because he's looking sort of at that direction.
Yeah.
So, and it wanted to try and add, again, going to this over the top sort of stylizing for anime to try and get in a more of a movement in the pose, is to consider the fact that his angle is aimed, is one aspect of the model, but also his eyes. Don't be dead looking forward, but actually to have it tilted to the left. when he's tilting to the left and he's rotating his body backwards to the right, and he's cocking his, it means there's even more power because he's looking to the side like this way, meaning that he has even more of a swing to do that one punch. And that one punch, obviously, as we know, death. So to create all that tension in that was important. And you can look on the back of his right hand. If you look at the back, well, yeah, I mean all of it, of his right hand and his left hand, the sort of tendons going in the back, is to try and create that, that movement in there in the pose. So yeah, the pose was pretty, was important. It was changed a lot. It was a lot of fine tweaking. Shout out to Chris Silver, the artist, fantastic guy. We did a lot of back and forth on this. This took a long time. We've been working on this for a long time. Yeah. Long time.
Much longer than a regular game.
Definitely, absolutely, because of not only is it the pose that we had to look into, then it was the details of the face. So going back into the actual design of the statue itself, we talked all about the pose and about the movement in the figure itself, but what else can we do to create that extra tension, the sort of almost like the fight scene? Well, obviously we brought attention to the base, and the base is big. Yeah. It's bigger than our typical kind of base, where it's more about focusing. Usually the base is almost, I would say, a quarter of the statue, whereas this is almost like half of the statue in terms of the size and all that sort of stuff. Not obviously this is, but it's because of the damage of the urban destruction. You know, obviously when he's fighting against Sonic or whatever in the in the urban sort of destruction and chaos and all that sort of stuff. That is what I wanted to have that in, that sort of added into the, incorporated into the statue. Now, the movement of, you can see it's almost like he's pushing off against the rock, forcing the road to break down like that. Or it's like, you can say that he's been pushed back, and now he's like, you know, how the sea giant's like mashing into him or whatever it is. Sorry, Sea King even, and then he's mashing into him or what have you, and then he just like comes, he puts all that energy, because not that I'm anything to do with mixed martial arts or anything to do with that, but the kinetic energy that comes from a punch is not just in the chest and it's not just in the arm. Kinetic energy comes from the feet as well. So having the feet rooted and pushing off, especially on his right leg, the emphasis is on his right leg, can really add to that sense of movement and that sense of strength.
It affects the surroundings.
Exactly right.
Around his
to
body.
have it more of a
give it
impact.
More of an impact, and
exactly. To emphasize again the over the top nature of anime, One Punch Man in particular, Saitama. So that is why we sort of incorporated it here into the base. All these sort of things, so the base, the movement in the cloth, the actual pose, it's all creating this amount of tension in there. And I wanted to actually do it.
That's the word, yeah.
Dynamic. And the thing that what I was quite adamant on wanting to do is wanting to do it at the moment before he throws the punch. A lot of examples, I would say, that is out there already is more about the after.
That's true.
Whereas I'm, you know, because Saitama is so crazy strong and all that sort of stuff, and it's all for me, the imagination of seeing when you see the character and what would happen when you see the character and when he's about to do something. It's all about the releasing of the punch. And we know, having watched the anime, how incredibly powerful the punch is. So it has that more added emphasis because of the character and his strengths and what he is and in the anime and all that sort of stuff. More so than a normal typical action pose of, I don't know, like a random gaming character, and it's just like, you know, random punch. It has so much more significance for Saitama that I wanted to let your imagination go wild, thinking about how is it just before he does it.
Yeah.
Because after you've done it, it's like, okay, he's done it.
Because right now, this pose, it has this kind of a mystery to it. Whether he's going to go full on power, or whether he's going to unleash the beast inside of him, or he's just going to hold back and just go, hey, plunk. You know,
exactly, you know, just how he comes right in front of Genos,
and it just stops like
Genos' face. He's like,
just inches away from his face.
And that is, you know,
the blast coming.
Exactly right. So having it done like that allows for us to do it. What's the word? You know, allowing us for it to have it at the moment before rather than after he lets the punch fly allows you to think about all of that. And that's what when you look at our statues, it's almost like you're trying to let your imagination, what's the word? You know, take over, and you need to think, okay, well, what would it look like? What would happen? All that sort of stuff. So you know, that was why we had to be really particular about the pose, and why it was important that we got that right. And hopefully you guys agree that you guys like it. So that's where we're at. Those are the questions. Of course, there is something else that comes with this. An exclusive.
Yeah.
Before we do that though, it's your favourite time of the...
My favourite time, right?
It's always your favourite time of the
recording, yeah?
Yeah. It's the shout-outs!
Yeah. No, you usually do the shout-outs. I just sit here and giggle.
So we've got a double hitter here. We've got Lawrence Guzman, who actually gave us the question. He's also getting a shout-out. Shout-out! Jeremy Pearson, what's up? Now he's a admin, lovely admin in the
addition to the admin team.
Absolutely. We have a Kurt Verbinden. Now, how I did my research, I did my practicing. There you go. What is up? Ricky, Underdog, Pal. What is up? Marcel Ensign. What is up? Luke Malia. Shout out.
So far, so good.
So far, so good, yeah? Victor Storti. What is up, guys? Jessica Pan, another double hitter. Okay. What is up?
Yeah, thanks for your question.
Shout out. Gerardo Oliveras. How's it going, mate? Erin White. What is up? One punch!
It's an easy list this time, right?
There you go. Because I nailed it. Bada bing, bada boom. I get my one punch. Boom! Bada bing, bada boom. Right, now it's time.
Now that's out of the way.
That's out of the way. Now
we can talk.
The exclusive.
Yeah.
Right, let's pause this bad boy spin. Let us...
Why?
Why what?
Why is this... My time to ask questions.
Oh.
So why do we have an exclusive?
Did you ask it in the Collectors Club? If not, I'm sorry.
Look, I'm not part of that. Yeah.
So go ahead.
Yeah. So why do we give them an exclusive version for anime? I mean, obviously, you know, we do that with the gaming statues. I mean, I guess you want it to be consistent throughout.
Sure. I mean, look, First for Figures is First for Figures, and it doesn't matter if we're doing an anime, we're doing a you know, a gaming product, or we're doing you know, whatever it could be in the future. We are who we are.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily, it doesn't mean that
it won't change anything. Yeah.
So this one comes with a well, it is something from the series that has his you know, again, from loving to watch that series over the weekend.
That's right.
One of the, you know, a fun weekend, but he comes with dun dun dun. Got it hiding here.
The okay head, right?
Oh, okay. So we've got the dopey head.
That's right.
And this has a, this is, you know, I love this expression. I love this. It's sort of almost like, oh, can someone please challenge me? I mean, it's like how I feel about table tennis. Like, can someone beat me, please? Because I'm so bloody amazing.
Because he went through a phase where, oh yeah, one punch again.
He's so upset.
It gets tiresome.
Yeah. So why don't we go ahead and just turn that, take that head off there. Hold it. So, move that head there. Okay. And add the head there.
Love this anime because Saitama has so many different expressions and
absolutely.
Yeah, I love it when he has.
So here he is, and now we've got the we've got his dopey expression, which is the exclusive version. And just to be clear, it comes with the dopey expression. It's not a different version that only has the dopey expression. It comes in addition to the regular head. So this is, I put this actually over here.
Yeah, that's the regular head.
So this you got the regular
exclusive.
Head. Right.
You get two heads for the exclusive version.
That's correct.
That's right.
So in this one again, he's got that again, it's the imagination. It's almost like he's fighting someone where he knows he's going to totally take them out, and it's just like, all right then. So as we get that rotating again, so now he's sort of how to say? He's just like, you know, he's just so. I mean, yeah, I love it. I mean, it's got such expression to it. The fact that he has no expression has such expression, if that makes sense, right? It just again,
well,
it just
exactly. It got to the point where he just doesn't have any expressions or emotions, like because
he's so strong, because he picks one up.
Yeah.
So I really wanted to incorporate that for the exclusive, and I think a few people in the Collectors Club also sort of may have hoped for that as well. So hopefully you guys are happy about seeing that. So, but that again, going back to the questions for Judo Mali when she was talking about the difficulties again, just it's the same head, the same character, but very very different heads, and it was important to get that right as well. And again, that was challenging because they're very distinctive. Yes, they're both bold, but that's where the similarity ends. Eyes are different, eyebrows are completely different. The mouth, all that sort of stuff, and it's got much more of an egg shape for this one. So it was definitely fun seeing that go from concept to 3D to print to paint, and now obviously to its final form.
Actually see in person is really good. Yeah.
Absolutely. Right. That is where we're at, and I can see we're already quite far into it. So what I would say is we need to do the size tests. Yeah. So let's say these guys, you like the product, you want to buy Saitama. That's right. What are they got to do? How big is it going to be? Yeah. All that sort of questions.
Because right now everyone's got gaming statues and they don't have anything anime related from.
Exactly right. So clearly he's 1/4 scale.
Yes.
And a 1/4 typical is 18 inches standing. That's where we're at. So why don't we just pause that for now?
Yep. Okay.
And why don't we do
statue versus statue scale wise first?
Yeah. If you want to do that,
is that how we do it?
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Okay, so let's move
I'll move him slowly
to your side.
Okay. You just give him a. Okay.
I'll hold the.
Okay. Yeah. There you go.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then.
Right.
Excuse me.
Get in there. Careful when you come back.
Yeah, I know. Apologies.
Just turn this way around.
There you go. Who's this guy?
So that is Zant, and that is from our Twilight Princess line of Zelda characters. So those who have ordered, those who have Zant, obviously can have a better idea of where that's at. So you can get a sort of scale comparison of what he looks like. So yeah, both in 1/4 scale, and Zant is actually quite a tall 1/4 scale character. And clearly he's already above him. Obviously that comes with a base and the cape and what have you. But of course Zant, he's quite bent over. Saitama's quite bent over. But it gives you an idea. If you have ever had any of our, if you've ever had Zant, you know what's up. And again, thanks for the support if you've got Zant. Cool. That's that then.
That's that then, yeah.
I think we should do the cam test.
Okay, shall we leave this here?
Nah, I think we can move him to the... Put him on, see if we can... Yeah.
Hope I don't knock anything this time.
That's it. Alright, you got him sorted out?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to move him back into the...
Center. Okay.
Yep. Alright, so you hold the...
I hold the table.
You hold the table, so move him across. That?
Yeah.
Okay, now why don't you go with your can first?
Okay.
Long-term viewers will know what's up.
There you go.
So he's 1 and he's probably 2 of your cans.
Look at that.
You probably need to get a few more of those, so we can
I should do, yeah.
So we know how many of your cans it is. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, Have you got enough?
Is that enough?
I don't even know what's up. But he's sort of, it's moving around a lot. It's just got, oh my god, it's totally not even enough.
4. Not enough. Oh.
No, it's not even enough. We'll say it's 5, just to be
give or take, yeah.
Give or take, it's 5 because otherwise we have to go out.
Because that would be
like
the highest part.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say it's 5, give or take a few centimeters or whatever. Yeah. But yeah, so let us know where you would put your Saitama 5 cans of Coke of 330 ml cans. Where would you put yours? Let us know in the Collectors Club, in YouTube comments. Let us know what is up. Bada bing, bada boom. That would be fantastic. Shall we bust out the old ruler? Yeah.
There you go. Wow.
Where to start?
It's always the height first, I think.
Yep.
Well, anyway, let's do the height anyway.
Okay.
So I'm going to measure from the back because it's much easier to measure the cape.
So we're here.
Okay. So from the bottom of the base.
Yeah.
To the tip of the cape, the highest point would be just a teeny little bit over 23 inches, and in centimeters that would be around 59 centimeters. Almost 2 foot.
There you go, mate. Okay, that's where we're at. Then let us go. Assuming that people are gonna, you know, where do you? Because obviously he looks good from all angles.
He does.
But if we assume that just the way he's looking, of course,
we gotta make sure.
Yeah, with the sort of widest points, basically. So why don't we go from
the base is a circular base, but we're gonna kind of measure
right. So let's go for the width.
Yeah.
So this is probably, here's the bottom of the width there.
Okay, let's say that. And I'm guessing.
Can you see what there's on that side?
Yeah, because I'll give enough space.
Yeah.
Enough space for it to be. Yeah, so let's say around about 19 inches.
19 inches, and the CM?
CM's 48.5-ish. Yeah, 48, 49 centimeters.
For our metric, you know, cousins. And then front to back.
I guess it's probably the same, right?
If the line comes down
it's roughly about here.
Yeah.
How's the front looking on your side?
Actually, you know, it's the front of the base. So yeah. So
yeah, but the hand sticks out a little
No,
bit.
it doesn't.
Does it not?
No, it doesn't.
So how about here?
Yeah. So what does that give us at?
Roughly 14 inches.
Okay, so it's definitely shorter on the.
Yeah.
It's
So
shorter, and which makes
front
sense.
to back, yeah.
Yeah,
So
which makes sense.
That's around about 36 centimeters.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So, did you guys get that? Let us know where you're going to put your Saitama. What is up? Cool. And that is. Was there anything else that was outstanding?
No. I think
Just wanted to quickly say about the pose. Just come to my mind is also, I wanted him to have that kind of almost floating effect by having that 1 foot very, very gently resting on the base. Obviously, his left foot very, very gently resting on the base.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's not. It's only very, very slightly on the base just to give it a bit of stability, but it's almost like he's floating off it. So if you take a look from maybe from this angle, you can sort of see. So just sort of almost in the air like that, right? You can see. Putting the emphasis into that right foot for more of the power and the follow through from that one punch.
Yeah. Either he's taken a lunge or he's actually been forced back. So a lot of his.
But also to again that whole pose, that whole feeling of movement in the in the character himself. So that is where we are at.
Yes.
Anything you would like to add, Mr. Chuckles?
No, guys, if you like it, don't like it, just leave us a comment. I mean, obviously, we always look at the comments, so if we can change anything based on these comments, we would try and implement, but so far, we're liking it. I mean, obviously, good comments, bad comments, as usual. Please leave us a comment in the club, on YouTube,
We're always very open to feedback,
yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. So, you know, from the team here at First of Figures, I'm Alex.
And I'm Chuckles.
One punch! Peace!
Laters.
Bada bing, bada boom.